Get ready, because the world of innovation never sleeps, and neither do we. ElectroDrive News is your front row seat to the electrifying developments shaping our future. We're diving headfirst into a whirlwind of groundbreaking updates that you absolutely cannot afford to miss. First up, we're tracking a major player in the automotive sector as it navigates shifting market tides and policy landscapes. Next, we zoom in on the essential infrastructure powering our electric future. One company is making significant strategic moves to ensure scalability and accessibility in a rapidly expanding charging network. Then, we head north to examine how a significant policy pivot is reshaping the strategies of automotive manufacturers and the burgeoning clean energy industry. And finally, we've got a fascinating look at how a major utility and an automotive innovator are collaborating to optimize electric fleet charging for maximum grid efficiency. You won't want to miss these crucial insights. Make sure you're subscribed and the notification bell is on so you never miss an update. Automotive giant faces market crossroads. In a landscape defined by rapid technological shifts and evolving consumer preferences, General Motors is strategically positioning itself amidst a significant market correction. This isn't just about sales figures. It's a complex dance involving fluctuating demand, the ever-present influence of federal policies, and the fierce competition that characterizes the modern automotive industry, particularly in the electric vehicle sector. The company's latest maneuvers signal a critical juncture, where adaptability and foresight are paramount for sustained success. General Motors has been at the forefront of the electric vehicle revolution, investing billions to transition its lineup towards a fully electric future. However, the path hasn't been without its challenges. Recent reports indicate a slowdown in overall EV demand, coupled with a reevaluation of federal incentives and mandates that can dramatically impact consumer purchasing decisions and manufacturer strategies. This presents a dual challenge: stimulating consumer adoption in a potentially cooling market while simultaneously aligning with and sometimes anticipating government policy directives. The company is reportedly scrutinizing its production targets, supply chain logistics, and R&D pipelines to ensure it remains competitive and financially robust. This includes a careful balance of investing in next-generation battery technology and autonomous driving features, while also managing the profitability of its existing internal combustion engine vehicles, which continue to be a significant revenue stream. The company's leadership is reportedly engaged in intense strategy sessions, exploring options from adjusting pricing models and expanding charging infrastructure partnerships to potentially phasing certain EV models or delaying ambitious production ramp-ups. The volatility in raw material costs for batteries, coupled with geopolitical uncertainties, adds another layer of complexity to GM's strategic planning. Furthermore, the competitive pressure from both established automakers and agile newcomers in the EV space necessitates a constant drive for innovation and efficiency. GM's response to these market dynamics will be a key indicator of its long-term viability and leadership in the transformative automotive industry. Analysts are closely watching how the company navigates these turbulent waters, with particular attention paid to its ability to manage inventory, maintain profitability, and ultimately deliver on its ambitious electrification goals without faltering under market pressures. This strategic recalibration by one of the world's largest automakers is sending ripples throughout the industry, sparking debate among consumers, investors, and policymakers about the future pace of EV adoption and the role of government support. But what happens when the charging infrastructure itself needs a strategic overhaul? Next, we're looking at a company making bold moves to power up the U.S. EV charging network. Charging network gears up for the future. As the electric vehicle revolution accelerates, the demand for robust and scalable charging infrastructure is skyrocketing. In this dynamic environment, Blink Charging Co. is making significant strategic moves to solidify its position and ensure its network can meet the growing needs of EV drivers across the United States. This isn't just about installing more chargers. It's about smart growth, technological innovation, and a forward-thinking approach to scalability in a rapidly evolving market. Blink Charging has been actively expanding its footprint, deploying its charging stations in a variety of locations, from public parking areas and workplaces to multi-unit dwellings and gas stations. The company's strategy appears to focus on a multi-pronged approach, aiming to capture market share through both direct ownership of charging stations and partnership agreements. This includes acquiring other charging companies to gain immediate scale and technological capabilities, as well as forging alliances with businesses and municipalities to integrate charging solutions seamlessly into existing infrastructure. A key aspect of Blink's strategy is its focus on user experience, aiming to make the charging process as simple and convenient as possible. This involves developing user-friendly mobile apps for locating chargers, initiating charging sessions, and processing payments, as well as ensuring the reliability and uptime of its network. The company is also investing in advanced charging technologies, including DC fast charging, to reduce charging times and cater to drivers who need to power up quickly. Furthermore, Blink is exploring various business models, such as offering subscription plans, pay-as-you-go options, and even advertising opportunities on its charging stations to diversify revenue streams and enhance profitability. The challenge lies in the intense competition within the EV charging sector, with numerous players vying for market dominance. Blink's ability to execute its growth strategy, secure necessary funding, navigate regulatory landscapes, and maintain a competitive edge in terms of technology and pricing will be crucial for its long-term success. Investors are keen to see how Blink balances aggressive expansion with sustainable financial performance, especially as the market matures and consolidates. The company's ambitious expansion plans and focus on user accessibility are drawing attention from consumers eager for more charging options and industry watchers keen to see how it stacks up against larger competitors. But what happens when national policies dramatically shift the landscape for electric vehicles? We're heading north to explore how Canada's evolving EV policies are creating new challenges and opportunities. Canada's EV policy pivot, a new era for automakers. Canada's recent pivot in electric vehicle policy is sending significant shockwaves through the automotive sector and the clean energy industry. This strategic shift signals a potential recalibration of national priorities, influencing everything from manufacturer investment decisions to the acceleration of green technology adoption. Understanding these implications is crucial for anyone tracking the global transition to sustainable transportation. The Canadian government has been actively promoting the adoption of electric vehicles as part of its broader climate action plan. However, recent policy adjustments suggest a potential reevaluation of the pace, scale, or specific mechanisms of this transition. This could involve changes to consumer incentives, such as tax credits or rebates, which have historically played a significant role in driving EV sales. Alterations in these incentives can directly impact consumer purchasing power and manufacturers' sales forecasts. Furthermore, the policy shift might affect regulations related to vehicle emissions standards, charging infrastructure development mandates, or even domestic battery production and supply chain initiatives. Automakers with significant operations or sales in Canada are likely reassessing their long-term strategies, including production volumes, model introductions, and R&D investments, to align with the new policy environment. Companies heavily reliant on government subsidies or facing stringent regulatory targets may need to adapt quickly to remain competitive. For the clean energy firms operating in Canada, the implications could be equally profound. Changes in EV policy can affect the demand for renewable energy sources needed to power charging infrastructure, as well as opportunities in related sectors like battery recycling and grid modernization. The government's renewed focus, or altered approach, could either accelerate or decelerate the growth of these associated industries. Industry analysts are closely examining the details of the policy changes, looking for clarity on the long-term vision and the potential impact on market dynamics. Debates are emerging regarding the balance between environmental goals and economic considerations, as well as the role of international trade agreements in shaping Canada's automotive future. The success of this policy adjustment will likely hinge on its ability to foster innovation, ensure affordability for consumers, and maintain the competitiveness of Canada's automotive manufacturing base. This significant policy adjustment is sparking intense discussion about the future of mobility in Canada and its impact on global automotive trends. Now, let's shift gears to a practical application of EV technology that's making waves right here. We're diving into a groundbreaking pilot program optimizing electric fleet charging for the grid. Grid harmony, electric fleets meet smart charging. In a move that could redefine how commercial electric vehicles integrate with our power infrastructure, Southern Company and Ford Pro have successfully concluded a 6-month pilot program focused on managed charging for electric fleets. This collaboration is a critical step towards understanding and optimizing the impact of large-scale EV adoption on the electric grid, ensuring both reliability and efficiency. The pilot program, initiated earlier this year, placed a spotlight on Southern Company's ability to intelligently manage the charging of its extensive fleet. The core objective was to explore how charging schedules could be shifted to coincide with periods of lower energy demand and cost, while crucially maintaining the operational readiness of the vehicles. This involved leveraging advanced technology to respond dynamically to grid signals, a vital component for supporting the massive influx of electric vehicles expected in the coming years. The test involved a substantial fleet, comprising over 200 Ford F-150 Lightning trucks, and utilized more than 150 Level 2 AC Ford Pro chargers deployed across various Southern Company subsidiaries. Data from both the vehicles and the charging stations was meticulously collected using Ford Pro's sophisticated intelligence platform, providing deep insights into charging patterns and overall energy consumption. Southern Company's fleet, which operates across multiple states, provided a real-world, complex environment for this crucial experiment. The findings demonstrated a powerful synergy. Managed charging not only proved capable of balancing energy demand across the grid, but also ensured that drivers consistently had access to the charge they needed for their daily operations, eliminating concerns about range anxiety or insufficient power. During the 6-month trial, Ford Pro's energy management software played a pivotal role, enabling Southern Company to effectively throttle charger output and strategically avoid peak grid demand periods. This was achieved by shifting charging times within the driver's established charging windows, ensuring that vehicles were ready when needed without overloading the grid during high-demand hours. Tom Canada, Fleet Electrification Project Manager at Georgia Power, a Southern Company subsidiary, highlighted the program's success, stating, "Ford Pro's energy management algorithm was able to throttle chargers to avoid windows of peak grid demand, shifting charging within the driver's existing charging window, while still ensuring that drivers got the energy they expected out of a charging session." He further emphasized the value of these insights for optimizing fleet management and advising other customers on managed charging solutions. The pilot also incorporated specific demand response tests, where charging was temporarily paused during high-demand periods and fluctuating electricity prices. In one notable instance, Southern Company successfully reduced total charging demand by 0.5 megawatts, 500 kW, over a 30-minute event, achieving an average saving of approximately 10 kW per charger. These demand response tests were conducted multiple times under varying conditions to ensure the robustness of the findings. Crucially, throughout the entire pilot, Southern Company maintained uninterrupted fleet operations, underscoring the practicality and reliability of managed charging. The study conclusively showed that this approach can yield significant energy savings, enhance grid efficiency, and uphold dependable charging for drivers. The integration of vehicle and charger data with intelligent software emerged as a key takeaway, empowering both utilities and fleet operators with actionable insights into charging efficiency, cost reduction, and overall grid stability. The successful completion of this pilot offers a compelling glimpse into a future where electric fleets and the power grid work in perfect sync, promising significant benefits for sustainability and operational costs. That wraps up our top stories for today. But before you go, stay tuned for a quick recap and all the ways you can stay connected. And that's a wrap on today's electrifying news. We covered a lot of ground, from major automakers navigating market shifts to the essential infrastructure powering our electric future. We saw how policy changes can reshape entire industries and how innovative collaborations are optimizing EV charging for a smarter grid. Don't miss out on any future updates. Make sure you're subscribed to ElectroDrive News, hit that notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up if you found it valuable. Follow us on all our social channels for even more content. We'll see you in the next one.